What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be talking to you guys about the struggles of having type 1 diabetes. So if you have type 1 diabetes or you know anybody with it, most of you know that it's an invisible disease, that you can't see it, but if you have it, you can 100% feel it. The first thing I want to talk to you guys about is about how much having type 1 diabetes affects your energy. For me, no matter how many hours of sleep I could get 4 hours of sleep or I could get 12 hours of sleep and I'm still exhausted. It drains my energy completely. And that has a lot to do with your sugars going up and down and fluctuating frequently. And if you have type 1 diabetes, I guarantee that you've come across people that don't understand why you're so tired all the time. They just take it as you're being lazy. And that's 100% not the case. So if you have it, I completely understand how you feel and you're not alone. The second thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is how hard it is to actually manage your blood sugar. A lot of people looking in that don't have the disease just figure that you take insulin and you're okay, but that is not the case. A lot of the times it's super hard to actually regulate your sugars and get perfect numbers. There's going to be times where your sugars are high and where your sugars are low. If you take too much insulin or not enough, or if you carb counted wrong, there's a lot that goes into having this disease. Another thing that type 1 diabetes can affect is your physical health. And that is one, from being tired all the time, and two, from not being able to be as productive as you would like because you are so tired. And a lot of the times it also doesn't make you feel well. You feel sick a lot. Sometimes I will get nauseous due to my sugars being high or even low. Especially if your sugars are low, you'll get super shaky and dizzy, and you will have to take a break from whatever you're doing at that moment so you don't pass out. And then if your sugar is low, when you try to get it back up, if you drink or eat something that has too many carbs in it in a few hours, or not even a few hours, 30 minutes maybe, your sugars will probably be sky high, but that's because you felt so bad when your sugars were low that you just wanted them to go up. And that is vice versa as well. If your sugars are super high, sometimes you just want to get them down, so you'll take a little bit of extra insulin and they will go low before you know it. So it's very difficult to manage. Diabetes definitely affects you physically, mentally, and emotionally. It is so difficult to manage, and it is very frustrating when people looking in don't understand how you're feeling, and because they can't see it and there's no physical proof of you being sick, it's difficult for them to understand. And that gets frustrating as a diabetic, and I'm sure many of you that do have diabetes understand exactly what I'm talking about and have encountered it many different times. Another thing I want to talk about is what type of insulin you're using. Now, we all know health insurance companies can be a pain in the butt. So if you get used to a certain insulin and then all of a sudden they don't want to cover that anymore, they can switch up your insulins. That can cause your sugars to be different and affect you differently. You get used to one insulin and then all of a sudden you're put on a different kind. Another struggle of having type 1 diabetes is always having to carry some kind of bag with you. This is what gets super frustrating because I would love to be able to just walk in somewhere with my phone and my wallet and call it a day, but that is not the case. I always have to have a juice box with me just in case my sugar goes low. I have to have insulin with me, and I use the Omnipod, so I have to have my remote with me at all times. And I also use a Dexcom, so I have to have that remote with me. And I also have to have my test kit with me for backup, just in case my Dexcom isn't reading correctly. You have to have backup needles with you just in case your Omnipod decides to stop working, and always extra insulin just in case. And you have to have your glucagon with you. And if you guys don't know what that is a glucagon pen, and it is for when your sugar is super low and you're unresponsive. You don't give that to yourself. Somebody else has to give that to you if you're passed out, unresponsive, and your sugar's super low. So that is for emergencies only, but it is good to have with you just in case at all times. Another point I want to talk about is how type 1 diabetes affects your hunger. There are so many days where I will eat and then a little while later I'm hungry again. And it's so frustrating because you're like, I just ate. But it depends on what your blood sugar is. If my sugar starts to go low, I can feel when my sugar is dropping when it's at like 120, and to me that feels a little bit low, but if it keeps going down, I will get super, super hungry, and I just like need to eat right then and there, and I just need food. And I'm sure any of you that have type 1 diabetes know exactly what I'm talking about. You get hungry so many times throughout the day, and it's so frustrating because you don't want to eat that much, but you really can't help it sometimes. Something else I wanted to touch base on today is how diabetes affects your sleep. If your sugars are super high or even a little bit high, that can affect you being able to fall asleep. When my sugar's higher, I definitely cannot fall asleep well. One, because I need to make sure it goes down and that I'm not falling asleep with a super high. And two, because I don't feel well. And also, if your sugar's low, you can't go to sleep because you need to wait till that goes back up. Also, there's been multiple times where I've woken up with my sugar low, and that's super, super scary because you don't always wake up when your sugar's low in the middle of the night, but thank God I always have. And the Dexcom actually really helps with that because you can put it on sound or vibrate. And when I'm asleep, I put it on sound so that if it's low, it will alert me, and usually it will wake me up. And it does the same thing for if it's high, if it's dropping, or if it's rising. So it's very, very convenient to have when you're sleeping. It gives you peace of mind before you go to bed, knowing that if your sugar is low, it will alert you. So that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching my video. Be sure to leave a comment down below if you guys have any questions or comments, or if you guys have any similarities and can relate, just leave a comment down below. Also, let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see next. Be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe to our channel to become a part of the Brown Squad, and I will see you guys in the next one.